I want to show. I want to show one of these little talking points that they floated up today, which was, that the Prime Minister, look, he wasn't being arrogant by not changing the question. He wasn't being arrogant by spending the $450 million, despite the fact that polls told us for months it wasn't going to happen. It's because he's just a good guy who followed through on a promise. I love this talking point. Roll this one.
I promised our government would seek to answer the generous and gracious call of those 440 powerful words. Through a voice, we have kept that promise. I promised that our government would seek to implement the Uluru Statement from the Heart.
Matt, Stephen, Corey, I want to hear from you, but I think we want to hear from Nicholas as well, right off the top here. So, Nicholas, apart from the idea going down, what about the spin now? What about the spin? Firstly, regardless of how white people voted, I thought this was an interesting one in Parliament today, despite the fact that ethnically diverse electorates, those hardcore Labor ones, that'll vote for them again at the next election, were some of the hardest ones that went no, let alone the Northern Territory, let alone. What exactly is this talking point, and do you think they can do slightly better than, look, I know we spent $450 million, I know we upset an awful lot of people, but he just was following through on a promise, like $275 lower power prices.
Well, Paul, we and the panel can debate this in and out, but in a democracy, I'm just getting a bit of feedback on my earpiece, I should say, but in a democracy, we want our politicians to say what they're going to do and then do what they say. And that's what Albanese did. He left nobody under any illusions that a vote for him was a vote for a referendum to give Indigenous people recognition and the voice in the Constitution. And so he went ahead and did it. Now, the vote was no. That's obviously been a big setback for Albanese and the government, but and we can debate that, but I do not think you can criticise the fact that he took it to the people. I think it shows that he's a courageous politician. He's a person of his
the talking point is he's a conviction politician.
He's a very decent person as well.
The talking point is he's a conviction politician. Matt Canavan, I love this. I love this one now, right? $450 million. I literally listed stuff that they could have doubled, trebled or 10 times in their own federal budget that would have got a better result than what they knew was coming in the polls before they set the date, before they locked in the question, which was no, which meant they could have pulled back and they could have put the 450 somewhere else. Oh, no, but he's following through on his promise.
Well, I don't think Anthony Albanese intended to lose. What seems to be coming out from the inside story today, and I'm sure in coming days, is that pride comes before a fall. And the Prime Minister became enamoured with himself over the past year. He seemed to think his election victory last year meant that he could single-handedly almost deliver this result. And you can tell from the frustrations in the Yes campaign that they were banging their heads up against the wall with the Prime Minister. He wouldn't listen to anybody, and he crazily brave stuck on this course. I'm sure he didn't want to lose, and you could tell on Saturday night, I think he had quite a shock that he lost by such a margin. So it's now a test for him. It's a test for him. Can he wake up to himself and actually get back in touch with the Australian people? I mean, his election victory last year, it was the lowest Labor vote since 1910. It was no great mandate for Anthony Albanese or the Labor government. They've spent the last year acting like they did have a big mandate, and I think the outcome of that was reflected on Saturday night. Now, they've only got half a term basically left to reconnect with the Australian people. They're certainly very disconnected at the moment.